You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
Constance Hyman is our guest. She's a U.S. Census specialist, and that's just what we're talking about, the 2010 census. We were talking off camera during the break, and you said that population shifts and trends are on the website, but you just didn't have the information at hand right now.
Yes, and that's available at our www.census.gov website.
And you also mentioned, and we want to make a little correction, when I said how many people it take to do the census, you said 300 million, and that you didn't mean 300 million. You just didn't have the exact number.
Exactly.
And that came out, but that's not accurate. So we wanted to clear that up. How political are the questions on the census form? Do they ask you party affiliation or
no?
Or do they ask you if you vote?
No.
They don't ask you that.
It's 10 questions.
10 is it?
10 questions.
I'm thinking this long. Really?
Yes.
That's it.
For the 2010 census, it's going to be 10 questions, general questions.
Okay.
It's going to ask your name, your age, gender, and different questions.
If you own or rent?
Yes.
They want to know that?
Yes.
How about social questions, sexual orientation?
It's not going to ask you for your sexual orientation.
Marital status?
Marital status, it will ask you.
Okay. Religion?
It does not ask
nothing
for
about, like, do you go to a
no.
Spiritual
10 questions.
10 questions.
It's going to ask you for race, ethnic background.
Race, they want to know.
Yes.
There's, and I've heard some discussion about that. There's a kind of a limited number of responses for race. It's like black, and I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I was reading a blog discussion, Caucasian. What if you are a product of a mixed black and white family? How should somebody respond?
You have an option of entering in.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
You can write in
something. You can write in your, yes.
Okay. Because there's folks with somewhat darker complexions, but not African-American, like folks from India or the Middle East that are not what we think of as Caucasian, but they can write in India descent or...
Yes.
Are U.S. territories part of the effort?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
How about citizens that are living outside of the continental or the U.S. and the territories? They are part of the census even though they're not living in the country?
Well, what will happen is, and if, say for instance, if you're in the military and you're stationed or deployed at the time, you are counted with your home of record. For the census count. If you are if you're living overseas during the time that the census is conducted, you won't be able to complete your questionnaire at that time. So it's going to be extremely difficult. So hopefully they'll be back by by the time the questionnaires are mailed out. Otherwise, we don't have a way of counting.
How many languages is the questionnaire printed in?
It's going to be printed in seven different languages. Yes. But
how do you know who to send who to what? Or are they all, you get them all?
No, you don't get them all.
7 pages.
You have the opportunity. We're going to have across the nation be counted sites and questionnaire assistance centers where you can actually pick up a questionnaire, and we'll have it in different languages. Also, you can get assistance in different languages with the questionnaire also, and you can even request to have a questionnaire sent to you in a particular language.
Do census workers need to be bilingual?
No, they don't, but it's nice. We definitely look for workers to be bilingual, but it's not a requirement.
How are individual responses noted? By name, by social security number? Is there an identifying, do we have a number?
There's not, the questionnaire doesn't ask for your social security number at all. They're all geographically coded. That's basically the one way by...
So do you get a code number? Does each response paper get a...
It's going to have, a geographical code basically somewhere on the questionnaire.
Okay. That'll be my code that nobody else would have.
For your particular area, yes.
And my response.
Yes, and your response.
What about corporate and commercial information? Do census workers take the census to corporations and to commercial mom and pop businesses to count anything like that?
There are census surveys and questionnaires that do go to businesses and corporations. The Census Bureau is an ongoing, basically it's a year-round operation, and there are different surveys and questionnaires that go out throughout the year. So businesses may get a census survey, but it's going to be a separate survey, kind of similar to
They want to know different information.
Exactly.
Who has access to all this information that's collected?
All the information that is collected.
Yeah.
Well, the census is no one has access to, of course, the personally identifiable information, but we have our headquarters, which is in Suitland, Maryland, that handles all of the information.
It compiles and breaks it all down
exactly.
in general terms?
Yes.
And then it's sequestered for 72 years, specific information that
no one has access to the personally identifiable information. All the statistical and the numbers will be given to the president by December 31st of 2010. But as I continue to state, the personally identifiable information is stored for 72 years.
And what is your job?
I'm a partnership specialist.
Okay.
So my job is basically to go out in the community. I work in 9 different counties developing partnerships with different government agencies, different businesses, grassroots leaders to help promote awareness about the census, encourage participation.
Do shows like this?
Yes, do shows like this.
To get the information out?
Yes, but definitely educate the community on the importance of the census and why everyone needs to be counted.
Are you involved in training workers?
I'm not involved in training workers. What we do is also, throughout the counties that I work in, have complete count committees. So they're generally a group of grassroots leaders or community leaders, and we do trainings with the complete count committees, train them on how to educate the community.
That must be an awesome chore to train these workers. We're almost out of time. I did want to mention that the local office is having an open house this week. We have about 30 seconds. Can you tell us about that, where it is?
It's going to be on January the 14th.
14th.
And it's actually in the old PPD building off 17th Street Extension, and it's going to be a grand opening. We're just basically going to introduce the local census office to, well, it is by invitation, but we're just introducing the local census office to the Wilmington area.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got a lot in a small amount of time.
Yes.
And this is what you do every day.
Yes.
Tell people about what's going on.
Exactly.
Make sure you participate in Census 2010. It's only the 23rd census ever taken by the federal government. We'll see you next week on Byline. Laura Padgett, longest serving member of the Wilmington City Council, will be our guest. We'll have some interesting things to talk about. Lots of controversies brewing. And what's up for the city of Wilmington? That'll be next week on Byline Wilmington. Till then, I'm Don Ansell. Have a great week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.